This segment sponsored in part by Brad's Deals. Expertise, exclusive savings, and consumer-first approach make it the safest place to shop on earth.
With inflation at a 40-year high, finding deals and stretching your dollar is more important than ever. And to fill us in on some tips on how to do that is online shopping expert Casey Runyan from Brad's Deals. Always a pleasure to see you, Casey.
Great to see you too, Marisol.
So, you know, everywhere I go, I feel like my poor little wallet, there are moths coming out. It's like, sister, there's only but so much we can do. But can we really rely on deals to get us through this? Are there even deals?
Yeah, absolutely. So consumer prices are rising at their highest prices, at their highest rates that we've ever seen in decades. And the definition of a deal is changing. Previously, we might have expected to see at this time of year 40% off on a deck box. Right now, we're maybe only seeing around 25%. And, when people needing to pay more for their food, their gas, their housing, they need to find ways to save wherever they can.
So that's interesting. You said something very crucial, which is our definition of a deal is changing, that makes sense to me. I don't like it, but it still makes sense to me. Like you said, it's not 40%, it's 20%. So any percent will do at this point. Casey, you and your disco ball and everything you do there, Brad's Deals, great resource to help us save money. Want to remind our viewers we have the QR code on our screen. You can always scan it. So can you give us, Casey, some tips on how to help stretch our dollar during this difficult time? That poor thing is like, it's like in a yoga class, that dollar. It's like,
yes, that poor wallet, that poor wallet. We can't control the cost of commodities, right? There is very little you can do to save money on things like gas and food and things like that. So you can ease the pressure by making cost-effective choices in other areas. So, this is a season where people are thinking about home improvements. Yes. So instead of thinking about doing something new, think about upgrading. We have actually seen Rust-Oleum cabinet refinishers are very popular on our site right now. You can do so much with can of paint. There are things you can do upgrading, cabinet doors or hardware. Yep. Those are quick ways to make things look good. And also, reclaim your space by decluttering using inexpensive organizers. And that is going to make things feel like new, even when they aren't. And you're not going to be spending as much money as if you went out and redid your whole living room or mudroom or whatever.
Well, I have to tell you that makes a lot of sense. And it's been warming up a little. And so I went out and I looked at my deck furniture and I was like, oh my gosh. This is terrible. I'm not doing a good job of taking care of it. But what about folks as the weather warms up and they want to upgrade to their outdoor space? What tips do you have that will save them some money?
Very similar. If a full new patio set is not in the budget, think about smaller upgrades. You can change out the cushions and the pillows on your patio set, and that's going to give it a refreshed look. You can also add decor elements like string bistro lights or upgrade your patio umbrella, replace that worn out thing. And also, add some green to your space. You can actually, with just some inexpensive seeds, have some beautiful, vegetables or herbs or flowers growing, and whether you have a yard or a patio or just a balcony, you can add that to your space.
Or a fire escape. I bought an inexpensive tablecloth and I put it over my table, and it actually made a world of difference. And it was much more inexpensive than going out and buying an entire new patio set. But this next subject, I fall into this because even though we're watching our money, we're still planning for spring break or summer travel. What are some of the tips on how to save? Are there even tips to save when it comes to traveling?
Oh, absolutely. And, we are seeing people are traveling again, which is great to see. And, luggage searches on our site are up 131% year over year, which indicates that high inclination to actually travel. And people are nervous about international travel. So people are looking at domestic travel. So for domestic travel, consider, visiting nearby state parks. They're a wonderful option and very affordable. Also, you can stretch your budget by going off season. So think about going to Hawaii in June versus, March or April, or going to Alaska in October. You can really save a lot of money and have such a great experience at the hottest destinations that way.
I love that. What about cruises? Are we going to find savings there?
cruises are still very well priced, and that could change very soon. So if a cruise is something you are interested in doing, now is absolutely the time to buy. And one of our Brad's Deals editors, our travel focused editor, Mark, recently went on a cruise, and he was so impressed by all the sanitation measures that were going on, and also that there were fewer people on board right now due to restrictions that are still in place. So it really is a great time to buy.
Casey, any other suggestions that you might have that we can put into our lives to help us save?
Sure. So something we are seeing a fair bit of right now is shrinkflation, and that is where manufacturers are downsizing a product and keeping the price the same. And so, yeah, oh yeah, it's sneaky. So the way that you can get around that is to look at things based on the cost per sheet or the cost per ounce. So if you're buying paper towels, make sure you're aware of how much you're spending per sheet. And it sounds silly to say that, but that's going to really reveal if you're getting your money's worth, because they're all jumbo, ultra, double roll, and it's very confusing. So you want to get down to sort of that like individual measure and really focus on that to understand if you're getting a good deal.
Look at the unit, whip out those reading glasses and read the fine print. Casey, remind our viewers where they can find more tips, please.
Yes, you can go to bradsdeals.com and be sure to check out our blog, which is called More for Less. And that's where we're going to be sharing all kinds of deals as well as tips and tricks to help you save wherever you can during this period where everything costs so much.
Where everything costs so much. Always a pleasure to see you. I love talking to you. As always, say hello to the disco ball and tell Brad I'm still waiting on my lunch date invitation.
I will.
Thanks so much, Casey. Take care.